Hey everyone, Hinterland Customs here, doing a final video, finally, for the KV-2 prototype tank. The U3 was what I was calling it, and or also known as the Last Juggernaut, I think it was. Something, or the Last Dreadnought, that's what it was. It's been so long I forgot. Anyway, the Last Dreadnought, kind of done in two parts. One was basing it off photographs from various books and online references of battle damaged KV tanks, both prototype and main production. So anyway, on this one, the second part of it was I wanted to try to weather the tank in what I thought it might look like if it had been in service from 1940 all the way up to 1945 in Berlin. So we banged it up a little bit and aged it just a little bit, trying not to go too overboard. But with this tank was it was a fun build. It's a Trumpeter kit, 135 scale. On the right side here, I guess we'll start there. I talked about I did the different road wheels, and there's a museum where they actually, the light's kind of bad there, but push it back a little bit. Anyway, I can just bring it up here. I did the different kinds of road wheels on the right side. There were, I think there's 4 different kinds. I think I've got 3 here, and I had just extra wheels from different KV kits that I had done. And then the toolbox was photo etch, and I tried to bang that up as best I could and kind of make it look worn. Some of those, the lids got pretty jacked up. Somebody did one that was really cool. It looked like a tree it landed on or something. It was just absolutely smashed right in the middle. And the fuel cell, I got that from another kit that had it. Actually, I already had it weathered up and everything. This kit does not come with fuel cells. So this kit only comes with the toolbox. You get your main toolbox, and then you've got your, what they call a vodka box, which the zip tool would go in. I've looked on there for what the zip tool was. I'm finding different references. It almost looks like, more in modern times, we're calling it like what we call a sawzall. But I'm not sure. So if anybody knows that, I've tried researching and I really got nowhere with it. And it's, I don't know, in all the books I have, it doesn't really mention, it just calls it zip tool stowage, and that's it. So I'm sure somebody out there might know, but there's not many people that really look into KV tanks. Anyway, got some extra tracks there. Put the log on it. There was one that showed a log on the fender, and so I did that. I wrapped some wire around it on the end there. Coming back to the right side, I did a lot of battle damage. I took a soldering iron. I was just trying to put it in and then drag it back, because that's what the shell deflections, the ricochets look like. With like a Panzer III would, if the shell would hit it from the side like this, it would dig in a little bit and bounce out. And then you've got ones, these are a little harder to replicate, but I did my best. You've got ones that just look like almost like a pockmark. They don't really penetrate, but they do enough to mar the outside steel just a little bit. So I did a few of those. What else? Yeah, and then there's funny, I did this, and I don't know if I had seen a picture before and it was coming out of the subconscious or what, but I did these red squares because I just wanted to do something a little different, and that's what we kind of do with prototypes. But I found a photo later where the Russians actually had painted a square on here and painted a number. I think part of that was because the numbers they were using were white, and then later on they were doing some white winter camo, so that could have been, put one on the top there and put nothing on it, and I like the way that turned out. Anyway, moving to the front, the headlight looks good. I've had ones where I struggled with getting the headlight to look good in the past, so we've got another small log here, and only one, we're using one tow cable. I am using one tow cable. I built it, not anybody else. So it was me that put the tow cable on. What else? Yeah, I did not do modulation, and that's something I think I'll talk about in another video where I showed this one in the main production KV tank that I did. Looking at KV tanks, I just don't see the modulation. Modulation's an artistic thing. I guess I shouldn't talk about it too much. I know that whenever I say something like that, there's a certain person out there, they see what I say and then they go on their channel and tell everybody how I was wrong without naming my channel. That's fine. Whatever. But when looking at the photographs of the KVs, I tried to make it look as much as what they look like in the photographs. the paint is not really faded. It does chip. However, on large surface areas like this, it's not really chipping like it does on an edge, which I talked a little bit about that in another video. But anyway. So there's the back. I decided to pop the hatch for over the transmission there. You know, not much else to talk about really. I will say there was something odd with this kit, and I don't know if it's something I did, but when I put this thing together, there's a roller arm. The roller arms go on at a certain angle, so can't really, yeah, you can see them there. So you kind of get in the light there. You can see the roller arms that the wheels go on, like this one. It comes down at a certain angle, and then the wheel goes onto the pin, if you will, from the axle. Okay, and then you've got your bump stops that are hidden behind the wheel. Now you can, I don't have any light. Anyway, there you can kind of see a bump stop over right there, and that's so when that comes up, it doesn't hit too much. Anyway, these all come in at a certain angle, and you do it all the way around the tank with your roller arms. And for some reason, I looked on my other KVs. When this all was built out, this wheel was much closer to the sprocket wheel here than it is on the other side. And see, there's a huge difference there. And I'm just... Anyway, when I looked at this, it looked like they were offset. I don't think that is correct. So I do not know if that was something with the kit or something I did. But when I put all these on, I've got them all at the same angle. So, and there's nothing, this one only goes on one way. So that was kind of really confusing to me. Is like, what did I do wrong? Took it apart a few times on that end there and tried to figure it out. Just didn't come out. So I said, you know what, fine, we'll just build it that way. So anyway, that is it. The Behemoth, I did use some photo etch for the triangle braces that hold the fenders. I like the way this one turned out. This is a solid one. It's not even meant to be there, but since it's a prototype, I just put it there anyway. So it turned out as good as I thought it would, I guess. There's certain parts that I liked that turned out better. There's others that are the same. And then when I was in Vegas, I picked up another book, which was really good. And that is this one here, Soviet Heavy Tank of World War II, Early Variants. So that's just KV-1. But as everybody will know from my other video that I posted, I just bought this one that had the applique armor, and I didn't have that kit, so I've got that one to add to the stash. So anyway, fun kit. You know, it took a long time. A lot happened in my life between the time I started this and the time I finished it, and fortunately everything has worked out good. I just had a job change, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it took so long. I'm kind of scattered when I'm building right now, so things are taking longer. But I don't really care because it'll get built when it gets built. I'm not, you know, this isn't a job, and I'm not on a deadline. So people want to build fast, they build fast. If they end up building slow, so what, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is, I had fun building this. It turned out how I wanted. You know, I wanted to build this prototype and kind of age it and maybe bring it along more. Give a little more life to it, because in real life these really didn't last that long in the field, and they were a prototype to begin with. So from everything I've read, I called this U3, and the letter U in the English language, excuse me, the letter U for Russian acrylic language, it's a letter Y, like a lowercase y, yeah. And so I found some in my decals, but it looked really off because the Y was really small. The 3 was really big. So I just left the Y off and just put the 3 on there. And so that's why it's just a 3. But there were U1 through U4. And some things, it almost looks like they did maybe build more of these, and they also took one of the bodies of these tanks later and put a main production turret on it that saw quite a bit of action later in the war. So anyway, yeah, it's going down rabbit holes where you can't always find the exact write-ups, but it was close enough, you know, and I took creative liberties with it, and it was a lot of fun. I liked dressing it up a little bit, if you will, and just making it look a little more worn and like it'd been out there a little bit longer than 3 to 6 months or what have you. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and You guys take care. This is Hinterland Customs. Until next time.